Hey guys, and how's it going? Welcome back to another Trains with Shane video. This is somewhat of a will it run, but more of just a product review. I can't remember if I bought this off of eBay or if I bought it off of an online store. I'm gonna say eBay. So we're gonna consider this used. What it is it is a Micro Trains Kansas City Southern EMD SW1500 diesel switcher. Picked it up because it was Kansas City Southern and the price wasn't too horrible. You guys know I love KCS. May they rest in peace, as they are now part of the Canadian Pacific conglomerate. Hopefully they treat everybody well. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. Typical like clamshell style plastic. Looks pretty good so far. Looks like we've got a handrail stanchion that has come out of its hole right there. We'll fix that later. Danger 600 volts, listed on a couple of different areas. Dual stacks. Cab number 4330. And this is magnified 2 times, so the it's really crisp and small lettering. See, there's the tip of my finger. That's obviously the tip of my finger, but for scale comparison. We have some MU hoses and a coupler, an MU coupler, MU box, whatever they call that. Sand filler hatch. Small little tank. Basic truck details. I'm not sure if those bearing caps roll, but based on their orientation, I would say that they don't. If you'll notice, they're pointed in towards the center of the trucks on both axles, so but they don't move, which is fine. Those tend to fall off anyway. Let's get this out of here. I think this is my first Micro Trains locomotive. Got plenty of their rolling stock. Other side, same thing, sand filler hatch. Door details pretty good. The latches show up pretty well. The KCS logo itself, the paint looks a little thick. You can tell because of the way that it is. I'll bet you that would that detail on the radiator top grill would deepen up a whole lot with a little bit of weathering. Really make this thing come alive. Kansas City Southern lines. Again, MU box on the back and hoses. All those details are molded on. They're not freestanding or separately applied. Our tugboat horn. Not much to see on the bottom. Open geared trucks, Micro Trains 2014. So almost 10 years old already. Looks like we've got little flat contact strips with brass contact strips with copper contacts on the trucks. Little pads. Looks like they make decent contact. Looks like we might be able to see, can't tell if those are flywheels or not. But good looking little unit, pretty basic. I can't remember if this is DCC or DC, but What do you guys say we get this over to the test track and find out what it does or what it does not do? I will see you over there. Alright guys, we are over here on the Inglenook switching layout that I purchased from Steven Strom of Steve's Trains. Go check out his YouTube channel if you haven't. Alright, we're on DC here. We're going to turn on power, pick a direction, and roll into some throttle. So you've got headlight already. A little bit of movement. Here she goes. Not a whole lot of movement. We were at full throttle on this power pack. Movement not very consistent. Let's see if we can bring her back. All right, we are dialed all the way up. Took a little wiggle. Moving out okay, but I'd like to see there's not a whole lot of finite control here. We get over here and we're 3/4 of the way, and then between 3 and 3/4 and full throttle is the only place we have movement at. We're running on outlet power, so this isn't a problem of dead batteries here. So what could be wrong? Could just be some dried up lubricants, could just need a clean and a service. Could be electrical pickup. It could be several things. It could be that this thing has a dual mode decoder in it for all I know and needs to be ran on DCC. I've got no way to tell yet until we pop it open. So what do you guys say we get this back over to the disgusting workbench and see what we can find? I'll catch you guys back over there. Alright guys, we are back over on the disgusting workbench, and we're taking a look at the Kansas City Southern switcher. I believe this is a SW1500. And how long has it been since you guys have seen the cradle? Alright, let's take a look at this thing. Remember, it was kind of sluggish. We are pretty clean, both contact strips and our wheel surfaces here. So rather than overthink this, because these little lifelike and micro trains, because this was made by lifelike Walthers for micro trains, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel here, let's see what we want to use here. 102 or 107? Let's use LaBelle 102. LaBelle 102. There are a bunch of different oils that will work. This is just what I use. It's pretty widely regarded as being decent and won't harm any of the plastics or anything. So I'm going to get in here. I'm going to put very small drops. In here, because a little goes a long way with this stuff. Less is more. I already have, let me zoom you guys back out. I've got the test track set up over here. I hooked it back up to the old standby power supply that's been under the disgusting workbench since I started these videos. going to slide our unit on here. We're going to run her back and forth a little bit. Whoa. Didn't take a lot of power there at all. It may take a couple of back and forths to get this worked in. A little goose of the throttle there. It's drag race. Pretty quick. I've got my hand over the end here so this thing doesn't go sailing off the end of the workbench. Oh, as I bump the camera with the chair. I'm gonna hold my finger, this is a finger, up against this and run it at about medium throttle just to get the lube worked in here, and not for very long. It doesn't take a long time for this stuff to work up in. I don't know if you guys can tell, but you can tell in the valleys between the teeth there's just the very faintest dab of oil. And honestly, this thing's running a lot better than it was already. Let's put this back down on the track. You guys probably all have Proto railers. There's the part number, 24,000. If you don't, you just need to get one. I mean, 1 or 5 of them. Keep them everywhere. Keep one in the glove box of your car, in your emergency bug out bag. Keep one everywhere, because I use these all the time. All right, let's give it a little back and forth here. We're at pretty low power here on my transformer here. The bad thing about this particular transformer, it's probably older than I am, and it was made before really finite control and pulse, all that good stuff was invented and put into model railroad controllers. So it's nothing, 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 and then you get a third voltage. And it's not very linear. It steps up. It's almost one voltage setting, then another, then full throttle. So there's not a lot of finite control there. I would hook my Proto power pack up, which is a lot more linear and finite, but it's packed away right now. I'm not moving or anything. I just needed to clear off the benches that were out in the other room, because that room is being repurposed for other things that do not include trains, unfortunately. Not my idea, but it is what it is. So I think we've got a winner here. Thankfully, it was just a lubrication issue. That's even better than a cleaning issue. So we are going to put this thing back in its case, and we are going to wrap this one up here. I want to thank you guys for joining me on another Will It Run episode on Trains with Shane here on YouTube. Like the video, guys. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know if it's the YouTube algorithm or what, but for some reason viewer statistics have been down recently, and we need to get the videos back in front of like-minded model railroaders that might not have discovered the channel yet. And the best way to do that is to leave a comment and to hit the thumbs up button. Doesn't cost you guys anything. It would help me out a lot. I would appreciate it. So in the meantime, guys, I will see you on the next one. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.